Hi everyone, welcome to Watch It, Play It Table Talk. My name is Rodney Smith, and in this weekly segment I propose a gaming related topic, share my initial thoughts on it, and then invite your responses through the YouTube comments and drone videos that I'll compile into next week's Table Talkback episode. And that way we can all participate in the conversation. Well, this week's topic comes to us care of Ian Noble, who suggested that we discuss the relevance and importance of gaming awards. This is very timely because the Spiel des Jahres nominees were just announced. We've also heard the nominations for the Origins Awards and the Dice Tower Awards. So are these awards relevant? Well, I can tell you one thing. I really find it hard to read my Twitter feed after these nominations get announced because everyone comes out of the woodwork and has an opinion about what game should have been nominated, which game definitely should not have been nominated, which games shouldn't exist in the first place. And as somebody who finds it impossible really to rank and review a game for anyone's benefit except for my own, the whole exercise is a little peculiar. I mean, just think about it. Think of your favorite game. I mean, your most favorite game, okay? And think about all the times that you've played this game, introduced it to friends, and had a great time. Think about all of the reasons why you love this game. There are people who exist who hate that game. They cannot stand it. They don't like it one bit. So all of this is very highly subjective, but that doesn't mean that games don't benefit from being assigned these awards. It is said that if you win the Spiel des Jahres, then you will sell insane amounts of your game. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of copies. So I don't think a person can say that awards, particularly the Spiel des Jahres awards, are irrelevant. The question, I suppose, is how do we as individuals allow it to impact our interest and maybe our purchasing habits for certain games. A moment ago, it might have seemed like I was poo-pooing the relevance of reviewing games, and that's not what I mean at all. I'm talking more about my own personal ability to do that kind of activity. But the relevance of a review is that there are just thousands and thousands of games out there. There's no way for me to personally and carefully investigate each one that I might have an interest in. And so a reviewer can help act as a filter to narrow down games, at least within the vicinity of things that I might be interested in. And I think the same goes for these kinds of awards. They can help maybe narrow our focus on, well, what are some games that might be of interest that are capturing the general interest of gamers at large. But then that raises another question. What is the method being followed to nominate and assign these awards? Because unless you know that, it's hard to assess the actual value of the final winners. For example, the Dice Tower Awards are, I believe, run by 24 or so industry and non-industry board gaming enthusiasts who pick and then vote on the winners in the different categories. So I would say those awards probably are a little more alpha gamer centric. Now, what about the Spiel des Jahres? This one's interesting because arguably it's going to have the biggest impact on the sales of a game that wins this award. But many times people will look at the nominations and go, what? Why did the jury choose Game X as the best game of the year? It's important to realize that's not what the Spiel des Jahres awards are about. They're not trying to choose the best game of the year. What they're trying to choose is the game that they believe is the most accessible and will be the best ambassador to the world at large for the hobby of board gaming. The games that maybe I would say I love the best are not the games that I would recommend most people to start with if they were just getting into our hobby. So understanding the intention behind an award is really important. The Bamboozle brothers have a fantastic article about the Spiel des Jahres Awards, and I'll put a link to it in the description of this video that talks about, again, the intention and purpose of this award system. Perhaps the more interesting question here, though, is as individuals, what relevance do we perceive in these awards? Do they influence the games that we buy? Do they help make us aware of games that we didn't think of previously? Personally, I think, yeah, I would say it does have an influence. Last year, one of the Spiel des Jahres winners was Camel Up. And before that was even nominated, I hadn't heard of that game before. I had no awareness of it. I still haven't actually played it. And that's just because there's hundreds and thousands of games out there and I can't get to all the ones I might like to try. But because of those awards, I'm aware of a game that I would not otherwise be aware of, and I actually do have a keen interest in trying it since it won such a prestigious award. And I would probably just out of curiosity be interested to see if I agree. Yes, this game is a good ambassador to our hobby for people who maybe haven't tried gaming yet and are looking for a way in. So what about you? Are you quite invested in these awards? When you hear the nominations, are you wringing your hands in frustration? Are you cheering for your favorite game? What do you perceive the impact of these awards to be? And do you have an opinion on how the nominations are chosen and the validity of that process? I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments below, and if you'd like, you can also record a quick 1 to 2 minute video sharing your thoughts, and I will try to compile all of that into next week's Table Talk Back episode. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.